Alright guys, so first step we're going to do is we're going to remove the entire air intake system. So first off, we're going to remove a few vacuum lines off the air box there, one off the pipe there, and then one off the reservoir. And then there is, I believe, 3 or 4 bolts, 1, 2, and 3 bolts holding the air box onto the body there. Move those, and then the clamps, 1, 2, 3, 4, spin that free, and then you want to remove your intake air temperature sensor in your box there, unplug that, and also your mass airflow sensor as well. And then once you remove that, should slide out fairly easy, and yeah. There's also 2 bolts on the bottom that hold the big reservoir on, so you want to make sure you remove those as well. Alright, airbox and ducting are out. That's the 3 vacuum lines that were on there. And there is the plate that holds the big reservoir on there. There's 2 nuts that hold it on. Once you get those out, then you can just pop it up and out and free. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nuts that hold the exhaust manifold onto the head, and there's 2 EGR pipe nuts that hold the pipe onto the manifold there, and there's also 3 screws or nuts down below as well. Alright, so before you start cracking these nuts open on the manifold, grab some PB Blaster and start spraying them away. Spray all of them. I like to let them soak for like at least an hour or so. It doesn't hurt too much to put too much on, so spray it good. There's also one on the bottom as well, you don't want to forget. Okay, so we're under the vehicle right now. And then you have your oxygen sensor. You have 1, and then you have 2 back here. This is the one you need to concern of, and this flange here. Now if you take a look at mine, there's no way I'm getting those off without cutting it. So I have to zip them, or use heat and pop that off. Now you're also going to have to remove that. You're going to have to remove those 2 bolts there. So that one and that one. If you look way up there, there's going to be 1, 2, 3 bolts. Now you can take those off if you want, but it's totally up to you. I'm going to try take it off from here, and I'm going to slide it up, and I will disconnect it right here from the transmission. Alright, so I went ahead and hit it with the grinder and cut those nuts right off. She's loose there now. I disconnected the oxygen sensor and also the bracket that holds it on to the transmission there. Alright, so you see here I'm starting to crack open all the bolts. There is 6 in total of nuts, and there's 2 EGR bolts as well. And some of them might come out with the studs, and that's okay, because you can just get new studs. But yeah, we'll see how it goes here. Alright, so it turns out that the EGR pipe actually has to be disconnected at the back part of the engine, so the whole pipe actually had to come out, as you can see here. So there's 2 bolts that hold it on to the little manifold back there, and then there's also a gasket that you have to worry about too. Once you get those out, and all the bolts are free off the studs, you should be able to just pull it right out, and up and away. As you can see here, I'm just pulling it out and bringing it straight up. And as you can see, I did not remove the 3 bolts that hold the lower part of the section there. I just pulled out one piece. You can see the oxygen sensor still attached to it. So yeah. Alright, so manifold's off, gasket's off, and as you can see, I got really lucky. All the studs stayed in the head. So it's pretty nice. Yeah, I do have an oil leak somewhere in my valve cover or head gasket. It's pretty cruddy around the oil filter there, but it's a good idea to clean everything up and get everything ready, install the new one. And I'll grab a light here just to see inside the exhaust manifold, head. You can see the exhaust valves in there. Look pretty white. It's tan color. It's a normal burning color for sure. Everything looks great. Okay, so here I got a side-by-side comparison of the headers and the stock exhaust manifold. Obviously the headers are a lot lighter. You can see in weight, yeah, for sure. That's probably the biggest advantage there. And better airflow as well. I'll show you the big crack that I have there. It's pretty common for these manifolds to have a big crack. And yeah, got the old gasket off there. It's pretty gross. But yeah, weight is pretty heavy. Alright, make sure you clean the head of your surface, then install your gasket. And then just slide over your header right over the studs. And then grab all your bolts and just snug them up tightly, just so we can do stuff at the bottom. Alright, so we're down below in the truck now, and I had to slide this catalytic converter and stuff back. Took the grommets off and just slid it back. But I got the second piece of the header here installed with the oxygen sensor. And you can see how that kind of bolts up there. There's 3 bolts that mount up to the flange. And then obviously you can see how that connects to the flange there. I did have to modify it a little bit, you can see. But yeah, that's kind of how it works there. Alright, time for torquing. So grab your torque wrench, and we're in our Haynes manual here. We're looking at the torque spec, and it is, I believe, 45 or 46 foot-pounds. So we're gonna set our torque wrench here to 46 foot-pounds. And we're going to grab ourselves a 14 millimeter socket with an extension. And we're just going to start snugging them all up here. In a crisscross pattern, make sure you do that. Just like torquing a wheel nut as well. Same sort of thing, you don't want to warp anything, something like that. Alright, we're all set. Now I'm just installing everything in a reverse fashion, just like I took it off, but we're installing it. And also make sure you put your EGR pipe back on as well. It's not shown in the video, but I did do it earlier. So yeah. Alright guys, we got everything installed back into its place. Just make sure you didn't forget anything. All the 3 vacuum lines, 3 bolts holding the airbox, there's 6 bolts holding the manifold, and 2 bolts holding the EGR pipe as well. Don't forget all the bolts holding the bottom. There's 2 in the bottom too. And look for leaks and stuff. Make sure you don't got any of that going on. And you can see, yeah, at the bottom there's the 2 bolts holding it on, and 3 bolts holding the 2-piece header on. And it goes all the way back to my Flowmaster back there. And yeah, sounds pretty good. Not too rice, not too high. Sounds pretty good to me. Anyways guys, that was how to install headers on a Toyota Tacoma. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.